Welcome to 15-Minute Bites, the podcast where tech conversations come in small portions. However, there's always a great recipe on the side. And not only a great recipe, but a great guest. I've got Dave Ginsburg, who has been doing podcasts, 400 episodes plus of In Touch with iOS. Yeah, is kind of the known guy in the podcast world around iOS and around this, because he's always bringing up each week current material on what's going on in iOS, Apple, and other platforms too, Mac OS, Vision OS. So it's really great to have Dave here, and we'll talk a little bit about. Initially, you were like, "Well, I'm not a cook." I said, "Yeah, but you got a favorite recipe? We can talk about your favorite recipe." And then you picked one which is like right up your alley and right up mine, because we go to Macstock every week, and one of the places where we can get
every year anyway.
every year, not every week.
I love to go every week.
But one of the places where we can get Italian beef is 2 blocks away from Macstock, so it's a frequent place. Dave, it's great to have you here, and great that you're a part of this. And so just talk about what kind of tech stuff you're into and what you're doing.
Oh, well, as you mentioned, In Touch with iOS has been pretty heavy on my mind. I work in the enterprise, so I do a lot of Mac and Apple support, as well as there's just a lot of stuff going on in the tech world. I'm going to be speaking at a Mac user group here coming up this week in Tucson, Arizona. So I'm looking forward to that. I've spoken at the Naples mug as well, and enjoyed doing that. And there's just plenty of great things going out there with tech, and I'm excited about companies with AI and all that fun stuff. I don't want to get into that too deep, but it keeps me busy, and I'm very passionate about technology too. So that makes it even more enjoyable.
Yeah, and you're also like very giving in a sense, just kind of being a colleague and being on podcasts with you. It's always like, I can't do it. And you're like, yeah, you can do that this way. And
you twisted my arm just a little bit.
But you also, with the presentations you do at Mac user groups and the kind of way people turn to you. And I looked at your promo for the one that's coming up at the Tucson Mac user group, and man, you're a god in that promo.
In fact, I hadn't joined their group yet. I just did. So as I know, you have joined them. So I already joined Naples a while ago. So, but yeah, I used to be a past president for the group in Chicago. It's since left us, but I enjoy giving back to the community, and I'm very pleased and happy to be part of this community.
Yeah. So let's talk about your food. You're going to talk about Italian beef. And now, did you grow up in Chicago? Were you
born, raised? I've lived here all my life.
Wow. Okay.
I've lived through a lot of Italian beef. Notably, I think what really has influenced me to do this today was the fact that the joints I was always go to all of the time. I've done a beef crawl. I did many years ago. The first time I did that, I was like, "What am I doing?" We made the rounds, man. We went from the north side to the suburbs to the south side. We were hitting some great beef places I had never been to before. So, and I got the sample. I mean, it was hard not to eat the whole sandwich, because you can't buy like a sample. So we would go in and sample it, and then I would like to get the guys, let's cut it up and just try it. I said, I'll be like dying by the time we get to about the second or third one. So that was kind of fun when I did that many years ago. I don't know if I'll ever do that again. But notably, the 3 joints that I would go to all the time is Johnny's Beef, which is originally is in Elmwood Park, Illinois, which is about the west suburbs of Chicago. And then luckily enough, I have one in Arlington Heights, Illinois, which is right down the street from my house. So I go there a fair amount of times. Then Al's Beef was very big in Chicago. Right. They've got they've got some pretty amazing beef, and I can go on and on. But the notable one was the big chain. When it started, it was always only Chicago with Portillo's. Portillo's has a really good beef, but since they got corporate, and then when Dick Portillo sold out, which was good for him, he made $1 billion on that deal, and he opened a lot of restaurants, and they've also expanded. So all the people in the country, in the U.S. anyway, can go. I mean, I just looked up how many other states they're in besides Illinois. They're in Indiana, Wisconsin, Iowa, Minnesota, California, Texas, and Florida. So there's a lot of states that have already got Portillo's beef. And I know notably Texas, the Dallas place, I talk to my friends out there all the time. They says, yeah, the line's out the door all the time. People just absolutely love it out there. So they must be doing something right. I mean, the formula changed just a little bit. I still like it when I go there particularly. But anyway, those are the top three of what that influenced me on this, and cooking it. I never thought of doing that. You'd buy the frozen stuff. You could buy it in the freezer and put it in and cook it. It's not the same, even when you get it catered, you get it. But that's the easy way out. But I might actually do this. I have not done this before, I'll be honest. But I had this recipe from somebody here, so I thought it was kind of cool. You do it in a slow cooker because actually my brother-in-law he does a chicken version of this that's really, really good too. But this one is really good because you can put about 3 or 4 pounds of chuck roast in a slow cooker. You put in a packet of Italian mix dressing mix, the granular powder style. Then you put a jar of pepperoncini with juice, 1 cup of beef broth, and then you have to have the Italian rolls. Oh my gosh! And Toronto is probably one of my favorite breads in the Chicago area. They have the best bread. And Giardiniera you got to put on there, of course, for some spices.
Okay.
But, go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to say that I have seen or attempted this kind of recipe before. And you really have to get a chuck roast that's got some marbling in it. Otherwise, you just get a tight piece of coal. I mean, it's just right. There's no way to tear it apart. The thing that surprised me was the 1 packet of Italian dressing mix. Now, I've seen it where people have put in Italian dressing, but the Italian dressing mix, and it adds I can imagine that mix adds the
flavor
in terms of the flavor for it.
Yeah,
the pepperoncini. The ones that this always gets me, people just throw the jars in. Now, with the stems or without the stems?
I'm sure if it's in the jar, I'm sure it's jarred. They probably destem them. I would think.
I've had to pull through the shredded stuff to pull out the pepperoncinis with the stems in it. So I would go without the stems.
That kind of an optional thing too, because some people don't like it real spicy. I like some spice. I mean, especially with the Giardiniera. I usually put the other part of this. I would probably add is sweet peppers. I really love putting sweet peppers, and mozzarella cheese is another option to put on the beef too. That's what you can get at many of the beef places too if you want mozzarella cheese as well as the sweet peppers. You can get sweet peppers, hot peppers, because not everybody likes hot peppers, and the sweet peppers give it a nice little sweet taste to it, and as long as they cook them really good, and Portillo's does that, and I think all the other ones do as well.
Yeah. My reluctance about the hot peppers is like you. I don't like it too hot. So whenever I go to somebody and they've done this, it's sort of like, first, do I have to pull the stems out, and secondly, how hot is it really going to be if I throw the peppers in there? So I appreciate you mentioning that. The Giardiniera. When I went to look that up, because I didn't know what it was, when I went to look it up. It is sort of like there were 2 versions, and I thought it was funny the way it came out. One version, it's like a vegetable bowl of cut up vegetables that have been cooked or sauteed in some way. And then the other was, they put it as Chicago style, which means it's really chopped up like a relish, and then you can put it on there. And I think you're referring to the Chicago style in terms of the relish portion of it.
Yeah.
So... to follow through, place the chuck roast in a slow cooker, add Italian dressing mix, pour the entire jar of pepperoncini, including the juice, add beef broth, which was another thing that was a surprise in this recipe for me, but I think a really pleasant surprise. Cook on low for 8 hours, shred the beef directly in the juices, and then serve on top of Italian rolls dipped in au jus, and top with the Giardiniera if you want to do that.
Yep. Well, the one thing with when dipped in what bread, that's your choice, because that's the big thing when you get your Italian beef at the restaurants I mentioned. You want it dipped or not dipped? Some people like it a little drier because when it gets dipped, it's messy. It gets that
wet.
bread really soaking wet. And we had it when we were at Portillo's the Mexico last year. And it can get really messy real quick, but that's okay. That's what it is. You got the juices on your hands. You just wash your hands later. You can do that.
Yeah. The restaurants have restrooms that you can go in and wash it off before you get out of the place. So
try it when you dip the bread so it's nice and juicy and you get the au jus. That's basically an au jus is what it's making from the sauce that's part of this recipe. So.
Well, we will put this recipe in the show notes, and we're going to call it Dave's home-friendly version of classic Italian beef. And so you'll be able to see it in the show notes of the video portion of this, or if you're listening to it as a podcast, it will also be in the show notes there. So you can clip that recipe out of there and give it a shot. You have inspired me to do this.
Maybe we can cook it when we're at Macstock this year. Huh? It might be.
If I'm driving,
maybe we could do it here. I'll have a new house. Go to my house and do it.
It feels like a sin, though. We're so close to Portillo's that.
That's true. When you travel, I don't think I want to do that. I think about it. I'm not traveling. You are, but.
Yeah. Well, it's great fun. Go ahead and give the listeners a little bit more in terms of I don't know if there's anything more that you want to say about the Italian beef. Soft roll or hard roll?
You got to have a soft roll. I mean, it's when they get it. I mean, in fact, when I was at Johnny's the other day, then you can do catering, and they had. I'm going farther in the image here. The bread was like, it's wide behind my body here. I mean, they give you the really huge one long piece of Italian roll bread, and then you just cut it up nice and fresh so it's ready. But those are usually they're not hard, but they're not. They're kind of in the middle, but they are soft enough that you're going to enjoy it, because you don't want I don't like those real hard rolls. But the soft rolls are good. The Italian rolls, they're really good.
Yeah. Okay, why don't you give us another shot at sort of where people can find you, things that you're doing, and then we'll check out for the show.
Well, the best place to find me is at InTouchIOS at InTouchIOS.com, and we're on our YouTube channel every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. YouTube.com/InTouchIOS, and I'm on Mastodon and I'm on Blue Sky. It's at DaveG65.
And he's been a regular co-host to Vision Profiles on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time streaming. So. It's great to get you on this early in the progression of this show, and hope you will come back as we discover more foods that we like and we can talk about it. And it's a good 15-minute bite for folks to be able to taste and have quickly as a podcast and get out. I'm Marty Gensius. You can find the work that I do through the website, thepodtalk.net. I won't go into a lot of details, but just go to thepodtalk.net and you'll see the connections with Dave's shows, with Chuck's show, and the other podcasts that I produce besides 15-Minute Bites. Thanks for listening to 15-Minute Bites. If you enjoy the episode, check the show notes for Dave's Italian beef and full recipe. And subscribe, rate, or share the show. It helps in terms of getting our folks aware about 15-Minute Bites. Until next time, keep experimenting, keep cooking, and remember, good ideas often start at the table.